This is my video series on restoring an AKAI MPC 60 from 1988, a legendary drum machine loved by producers worldwide and known for its characteristic sound. Today, made in Japan transformer, paradoxically from Japan, unusable in Japan. This takes the North American 110 to 130 volt AC and steps it down to 100 AC, which is important because we need it for the 100 volt AC power expected by the MPC. So, if this works okay, the plan is to take the core of the power supply out, disconnect the power lines from the rest of the unit, test these capacitors first, maybe try powering it up, see if it works. Before I forget anything, I'm going to map this out on record, video style. Okay. Floppy drive, that's fairly obvious. This is the big power cable that comes from transformer output, if I'm seeing correctly. This small one goes to the inverter, backlight, the LCD. Red and black go underneath. There's another PCB. These two brown wires, those go to the, I'm going to call it the voice, the CPU board. It's the bottommost big PCB. Guessing that's power. This group of 4 yellow wires, that's floppy drive. And then 2 groups of large wires for power. One to this board, makes sense it's close by, the other one to the back of the, we're going to call it the voice PCB here. So the plan is to disconnect all of these, take the power supply, this part out, test the caps, test the fuses, maybe spark it up. By which I mean fire it up. By which I mean power it up safely for a minute just to see if it works. And so all I'm going to do is put a little mark that lines up on these just so that, I don't know, if I take this out and I'm reconnecting things out of place, I'll remember this one lines up with that, and then this one's going to line up with that. We actually have very reasonable clips here, accessible for once. So I'm going to label, stick a little marker on that too, and maybe on this one just to be safe. Different kind of tab on here. You've probably seen these before. These are fairly easy to separate. You just need a small, so you can do this one-handed, something small and flat, and then get that tab loose and it should pop that right out. Easy. We'll label that. I don't know, in the corner or something. And it's the only 4, so that's pretty straightforward. This is another very simple clip. Easy. More clips. This is one of those pesky ones you got to go at it from the bottom. Might take the board off, then get that one. And then the last is the, it should be easy. There we go. Capacitors here are not holding any charge, but that's something you don't want to risk. Okay. Looks like we got one more fuse. Looks good. Maybe take it out and take a closer look. Huh? Thank you. Looks okay. Continuity check says fuse is good. These are annoying. Here's what I find works. Hook something small in there. There we are. Ta-da. Famous last words, but what I like about the look of all these connectors is they're all unique. Except for these ones, but I've marked them. So that way it's a lot more difficult to plug, to connect the wrong thing to the wrong place. So that's a good thing. Bottom of the power supply, PCB, fairly significant solder joints there. That's to handle, those are the fuses. I guess that makes sense. Here we have what could be seen as corrosion, but this is most likely the flux. Old flux that has liquefied a little bit with moisture over time. Capacitor test time. We're trying to get an ESR reading on that big boy. 0.013. 10 volts, 12,000 microfarads. Okay. 25 volts, 1,000 microfarads. Fairly common, I think. Negative on this side again. 0.0022, I think it said. Power supply cut out. Do that again. Oh, there we go. Super low. Well, I think those are good. 0.275 ohms, let's call it. Really hard to see that one. Aha, 10 volts, 220 microfarads. Couple more here. 25 volts, 10 microfarads. 1.333231. And quickly here. 1.3334 as well. I think I can test the power supply, at least the transformer, from 100 to 20, whatever, 6 that is. You know, in fairness, I do wonder sometimes if my neighbors think, what the hell is that guy up to over there across the street? Keep it exciting. Power switch. I'm going to test power into this. I'm not sure what this is. Fuse little block before the transformer and just see if that behaves itself. Now, because I'm funny about somewhat safety, I'm gonna put that on there just in case anything decides to spark up. And, you know, you only get one pair of eyes, so. Okay, here goes nothing. Wish me luck. We're drawing 8 watts. So far, so good. Next step, test the power supply transformer connected to the second stage, I guess you might call it, of the power supply. And again, because I am somewhat safety oriented, just in case any caps decide to get spicy, that's there. I don't know if that'll really matter if they really go, but yeah. Let's see what happens. Oh, might help if the power were on. All right, Jackery going to adapter. That's 100 out to that. It says 8 watts. And that could be that it really is drawing nothing. So, no signs of trouble. All right, good. Give it a minute. I'll check it with check the heat. I have a cold. If you can't hear, I'm completely stuffed up, but can't resist tinkering with this thing. So here is the inverter. This is cleaned up nicely. I've tested this. The power supply here, this outputs 5 volts. And so that's 5 volts coming in to the inverter. That goes to the backlight, the LCD. Now, what's the backlight? The backlight is this little thing that runs underneath here. Now, this is terrible. I just so happened, though, to have found basically a brand new one on eBay. Amazing. Mint. But no backlight. So I've ordered a backlight and a new inverter, just in case. So basically, I've got new pieces coming in, so I should be covered. So if this doesn't work, that's okay. If this doesn't work, that's okay. Hopefully the new stuff will be okay. So now I'm just curious. These are supposed to whine or squeal when they're working, so I'm wondering if that's functional at all. So here's USB, here's 5 volts. Let's see if we hear anything. Just a quick test. Oh, I think I hear it buzzing. Yeah. I can hear a little wee. So I think it's working. Let's see if it picks up here. I better be careful, it's high voltage. So I'm gonna bring the phone down. Yeah, I can hear it humming. It's real quiet though. AC output of the LCD backlight inverter. Get all the words. So that's set for AC. So if I plug this in, we should get 100 something volts. Oh yeah. 185, is that right? Wow. Okay. Well, it would appear that it's working. I mentioned here's where that connects to the back. That goes, I think, right into there. Now, this might be a terrible idea, but at this point, I'm just curious to see what this is going to do, if it works. Let's see what happens. I'll try this real quick. Apply power. Here we go. Doesn't look like anything to me. Oh, wait a minute. I might have to get it really in the dark. But I don't think that's power on now. Yeah. Oh, wow, it is working. That's actually working. Just barely. Well, okay. Maybe this is faulty. Chances are it's just, this is horribly flooded with water and stuff. But, okay, I gotta get this in the dark. All right, here's our inverter, original LCD. Watch this. It's working. It's kind of terrible, but it's kind of working. But I mean, it looks better on the video. It looks brighter on the video. But the backlight's there, so I think the inverter's working. So I just need to get a new bit of both, and there we go. It's awesome. Today, I'm going to try to disconnect. I think this might be looks like the main board. These are CPU 1, 2, 3, 4 EPROMs or PROMs. So I'll see about removing this. And then, best I can tell, this comes right off. So I'm just going to take pictures of everything and make sure things go back in the right order.